Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय।
Jai.
श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I welcome you to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita session. Today is, for you, it is 25th of November. For us, it is 26th of November, 2025. So we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 9, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's travels in South India. And yesterday we did a recap, you know. So Mahaprabhu is, he went south and then he turned back and now he came to Vriddha Kashi, visited the temple of Lord Shiva, and then came to a particular village, which is in which all the residents were Brahmanas, or most of the residents there were Brahmanas. That means Brahmanas are, uh, are educated in Shastras, Pathan, they're teachers and students. So, but these Brahmanas were they were followers of different philosophies. Some were Mimamsakas, that means work is worship. Some were Mayavadis, considering even the body of the Lord. That means all the avatars, including Lord Krishna, the body is uh, made of matter, Maya. Whereas the only truth is Brahman. So ultimately, we are all that one Brahman, right? This is Mayavad philosophy. So some were of Mayavad philosophy, others were followers of Sankhya philosophy. Some were following the yoga system of Patanjali, followers of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Uh, then some were following the Nyaya philosophy of Gautama. There were logicians of Gautama or Kanada like this, like Vaisheshika and uh, Nyaya. These are the philosophies based on logic. So all of these Brahmanas came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because when Mahaprabhu came, people would come from all over the place, and there were so many people. And now they're all presenting the conclusions of their particular pramanas. That means their particular shastra. What is the goal of life? Like that. But Mahaprabhu completely defeated all of them on the basis of Vedas, Vedanta, Upanishads, Vedanta Sutras. Vedanta Sutras. That means the commentary of Vedanta Sutras is Srimad Bhagavatam. And established bhakti as the highest goal for everyone. Why? Because Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. The constitutional position of the living entity is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is the uh, Panchama Purushartha, that is the highest principle for a living entity. And Mahaprabhu uh, completely uh, defeated all of them and established Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. So yesterday we also discussed a little bit about what is Achintya Bheda Abheda. That means the Lord and his energies. So when we say Bhagavan, so there is, Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan are the three features of the absolute truth. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. So the learned understand the absolute truth in three ways as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. The same object is seen by different seekers in a different way depending on their level of advancement. Or you can say, in other words, depending on their level of Krishna consciousness. Someone sees the absolute truth as Brahman, another person sees as Paramatma, another person sees as Bhagavan. But Brahman and Paramatma are partial realizations. A Bhagavan is the complete realization. In Bhagavan also, again, the fountainhead of all avatars is Krishna. So, understanding Krishna and Vrindavan, that is the ultimate realization. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different from Krishna. Okay. So, but he's the Channa avatar, he's the hidden form of the Lord. Why we call him avatar? Avatar means someone who descends from the spiritual world down, who comes down, that is avatar. So, like all other forms are coming, descending, right, to the material world, coming to this material world to perform pastimes. In the same way, even Krishna is also appearing here to perform pastimes, or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming here to perform pastimes. Therefore, he is also called avatar sometimes. But in reality, he is the avatari. That means from him, all other avatars are expanding. He is the source of all avatars, Krishna. So, therefore, Krishna is the complete understanding of the absolute truth. But in a general way, when we understand Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, so Krishna is the last word in Bhagavan. He is the ultimate. So Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So what is the difference between Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan? Brahman is partial realization of that Bhagavan. Paramatma means little bit more. Like it's like you come closer and closer to an object. From a great distance, it's hazy. That means you know that there is something, but you don't know the details. That is Brahman realization of Krishna. That is Brahman realization of Krishna. And you come closer, that means you become more Krishna conscious. Now you're realizing it's not as hazy. You see some more, you get some more details. That is Paramatma realization. He's so in Brahman, what is the understanding? The absolute truth is um, um, you know, Chinmatra, Nirvishesha, Chinmatra Satta. Nirvishesha, no Visheshanas, no adjectives, no qualities. Chinmatra, Chit Matra means conscious. Chit means conscious. Matra means only. Chin matra means only consciousness. He is nothing but consciousness. Nirvishesha chinmatra satta. Satta means existence. Eternal existence of that consciousness. That is Brahman. Do you know anything else about Brahman? What is his color? What is his feature? Nothing. Brahman means conscious, eternal conscious existence. Bas, that's all you know. That means you're only able to realize that aspect of Krishna. That is Brahman realization. But as you come closer, or you become more Krishna conscious, or you become more advanced, you will realize not just conscious existence, this conscious existence also has controlling power. Controlling power. This conscious existence, absolute truth, is controlling Prakriti and also control. So Prakriti means there's the external energy and then the marginal energy, the living entities. So this is the Paramatma feature who is controlling, who is maintaining. So this is more understanding of Krishna. Like you get more, some more understanding of Krishna. Still, it's not complete knowledge of the Lord. And if you come even closer, now you realize even more variety. What is that variety? This absolute truth is eternal consciousness and has the feature of controlling. He is the master, he is the Lord, he is the controller. But he has other features also. He has Parasha Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. He has unlimited Shaktis, not just one Shakti of being the controller, but he has so many Shaktis. He has internal energy, marginal energy, external energy. And then within the internal energy, in Swarupa Shakti, you have Sandhini, Samvid, and Hladini. Then, and he has a beautiful form. In Paramatma feature also you are seeing a form, a localized form, only 400 form you are seeing. But when you realize Bhagavan, now you see the Lord has a beautiful form and he performs pastimes with his devotees. So this is Bhagavan realization. Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan realization. Uh, I wonder why I went there. 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Because we were talking about Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva yesterday. So what is this Bheda and Abheda? The Lord has unlimited energies. When does one realize, see this? When one comes to Bhagavan feature, that's when you will see. Otherwise, before that, in Paramatma feature, very limited, right? He has the controlling power, he is the controller. That much only you're able to see. And before that, in Brahman realization, you don't see any qualities. The only thing is it's eternal existence. That's all. And it's conscious, and of course, even the spirit soul has pleasure. So in Brahman also there is pleasure, but that pleasure is compared to a drop when compared to the pleasure that one experiences in bhakti. The pleasure that one gets in bhakti, the bliss that one gets in bhakti is like an ocean, whereas the bliss, Brahmananda, is compared to a drop in that ocean. But yes, there is pleasure in Brahmananda also. There is bliss in Brahmananda, Brahman realization. It's eternal. In that eternal existence, one experiences bliss. That's all. So, Achintya Bheda Abheda means the Lord and his Shaktis are different and they're also non different. How they are simultaneously different and non different, this is explained by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. This point that the Lord and his energies are simultaneously, this word simultaneously is important. Achintya, you cannot conceive that in this material world. Simultaneously, it's different and non different. Achintya Bheda Abheda. Huh? So, with this philosophy of Achintya Bheda Abheda, this is the contribution of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is the topmost. It answers all, uh, any gaps there may be, any questions one may have, some things which are not answered. All ambiguities are cleared by this philosophy of Achintya Bheda Bheda. Who gave this? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So by this philosophy, and how it is based on Shastra, nothing is spoken just like, no. Every statement which is said, it is supported by Shastra. So he was supporting all his statements from Vedas, from Upanishads, from Vedanta Sutras, and thoroughly defeated all the other philosophers who came to him, and established bhakti through this philosophy of Achintya Bheda Abheda. And then what happened? In this way, so this is text 44. सर्वत्र स्थापय प्रभु वैष्णव सिद्धांते प्रभुर सिद्धांत के हो ना पारे खंडिते. Sarvatra sthapaya. In this way, he established everywhere Vaishnava Siddhanta. What is Vaishnava Siddhanta? This Achinta Bhedabhed philosophy, this is Vaishnava Siddhanta. And the dharma of the living entity is Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas, to render pure unalloyed devotional service. That is the real dharma. Brahman dharma, Kshatriya dharma, Vaishya, Shudra dharma, Grihastha, Vanaprastha. Yes, we have dharmas, but that is not the eternal dharma of the living entity. That is there now based on my particular swabhava. Swabhava means my nature, which I have acquired because of associating with the modes in different bodies. I since beginningless I've been changing bodies one after another, and in each body I am associating with the modes and acquiring a particular nature. So that nature is dictating me how I should act, and so based on my nature, now I am assigned this body of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Grihastha, woman, man. This is not my eternal position. But what is my constitutional position? It is to render direct devotional service to the Supreme Lord. So this is the dharma of the living entity. This is the dharma of the living entity. But for one to do that, to come to your original constitutional position, you should develop that strong faith that this is what I'm supposed to do. Until one develops, while we are trying to develop that faith, until we develop that faith where we come to the point where even though externally we may be doing our duties in this world as a grihastha or as a brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, whatever duties we may be doing, our consciousness is always Krishna conscious. Externally, to show people, so that there is no, what do you say, so that there is no disturbance in society. Because if, let's say, I'm a housewife and I just stop cooking, cleaning, and doing anything in the house, and if I just sit and chant Hare Krishna all day long, actually there is nothing wrong from devotional perspective, because that's your eternal position. That's what you should do. But the problem there is, first of all the family members, like it'll be a disturbance, and also other housewives who are not doing 24 hours, they are not sitting and chanting or worshipping, but they see you or me not doing anything at home, and they say, see, that Mataji doesn't do anything. She say, she doesn't do her work. She doesn't. I will also not do anything. So that the other ladies, they are not sitting and chanting all day, but they take the example that you have given up all other work duties in this world, and they'll also give up. If in this way, in every home, or at least 10, 20 homes, ladies stop doing their duties, what will be the result? There'll be chaos, right? And people will start, what is this Krishna consciousness movement? This is destroying. So the smooth movement of society will not happen. So devotionally, there is nothing wrong if you did that. But a devotee does not cause unnecessary disturbance in society. So what does the devotee do? Seeing that yadyad achar, devotee is naturally a leader. Yadyad acharati shreshtas tattad evetaro janaha. Whatever a leader does, an important person does, a great person does, yadyad acharati shreshtas tattad evetaro janaha. Right? The common people are observing that person. Sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Whatever standards he establishes by his example, whatever standards he establishes by his example, people start following that. So therefore, now, yes, they will not take this example that you are continuously chanting all day long. Why? Because to do that, one needs Dhrida Shraddha. They need firm faith. Without faith, one will not be able to do that. So someone may have faith to chant 2 rounds a day. Beyond that, he or she will not be able to do because he has only that much faith. So now the real thing is to raise that faith in people. Raise that faith. How that faith can be raised? First of all, they need the mercy. So give them all the mercy you're able to give. Whatever mercy you have, give them that mercy. Pray to Krishna, give them Mahaprasad, and like that, give mercy. On top of that, that faith will be developed by hearing more and more about the glories of bhakti, about Krishna. So the more one hears, the more faith he will develop. The more one hears, so whatever blocks are there in the heart, which is not allowing a person to surrender to Krishna, those blocks means these are doubts. So those will be resolved by hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing. So that's the way to develop faith. But until he or she does not get full faith, and until one is not able to do this, come to the constitutional position of performing Shravan Kirtan 24 hours, one is not able to do like that, what should you do? You must do your duties. One has to do your duties until one gets that type of faith. And you do your duties to the extent you have your faith, right? So while you're doing your duties, you're also trying to build your faith, right? Increase the time of direct devotional service while you're doing your duties. Increase, increase, increase. That's how a devotee will work towards that firm faith. And to increase the faith, he will be hearing. You understand? Jitna faith hai, as much of faith you have, that much bhakti you will do. And the remaining time, where you are lacking in that faith, you must do duties. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas, duties. As per Shastra, you have to follow that. What will happen if you don't follow those duties? You will do bhakti as much faith as you have, and the remaining time, if you're not following, then you will come to the mode of passion and ignorance. You will be doing activities which are not sanctioned by Shastra. That will put impediments on your bhakti also. It will pull you down. You will not be able to move steadily. So, therefore, staying in the mode of goodness is essential. When we do duties as per Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, it keeps us in the mode of goodness. So we follow that. And I'm talking about an aspiring devotee. So while following those duties, one is trying to understanding that my goal is to come to pure devotional service, to come to the point of doing direct devotional service 24 hours without causing any disturbance, right? So you do your duties as much as needed for you, but also you, a devotee, without, because he does not want to cause disturbance to others, what he does is externally, although he personally doesn't feel the need to do these duties, he will do those duties for namesake. Externally, he will do it, not with dependence on those duties. If I don't do this duty, I'm going to get a sinful reaction. No, not with that. If I'm doing bhakti, and because of doing bhakti, if I'm not able to do some duty, there's not going to be, he will not have any doubt in his heart, I'm doing something wrong. No. But the only concern is others should not be disturbed, and my activities should not jeopardize their progress in Krishna consciousness. Because if they become lax and if they don't follow Krishna consciousness because of taking my example, then um, then he doesn't want that. So therefore, as much as possible, he will do the duties externally, but his faith is not in those duties. His faith, his dependence is not on family, it is not on the duties that are prescribed by Shastra. His faith is in bhakti only. This is the consciousness of an aspiring pure devotee, and what to speak of one who's already a pure devotee who's doing it 24 hours. So my point is, even though one is doing pure devotional service 24 hours, still he will um, do these duties externally to set example to the world. I'll take the question, Mataji, just we'll read a little bit. But because this Achinta Bheda Bheda came, and in that Achinta Bheda Bheda, we were talking about, no, not that, here. Sarvatra sthapaya Prabhu Vaishnava Siddhanta, Prabhura Siddhanta keho na pare khandite. So I was talking about what is this Vaishnava Siddhanta. So about this Vaishnava Siddhanta, I'm saying Vaishnava Siddhanta is Jivara Swarupa hai Krishna Nitya Das. If you simply do direct devotional service, you don't need to do anything else. However, even devotees, that's why we see Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a district magistrate, a high court judge. What was the need for him to do these duties? He was a grihastha and he was raising 11 children. What was the need? To set example. Like even in this world, when you do your duties, you do it properly, like that. But is he depending on those duties? No. That is simply to set example to the world. And even at that time also, when they're doing, they're constantly in touch with Krishna, either through body, mind, or words. They are never out of touch with the Supreme Lord. This is the practice. While you're doing whatever duties you're doing here, constantly be in touch with Krishna. How? The best way Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. Chant Hare Krishna. Where if you're able to chant aloud, chant aloud. If you're not able to chant aloud, chant in the mind. Or remember whatever you have heard. Therefore, hearing is very, very important. Every day, regularly, when we hear, what happens is whatever we hear, that comes in our mind, when we are doing things externally, cooking, cleaning, shopping, do whatever we are doing, in the back of our mind, whatever we have read, mananam, that is called mananam. And that is so powerful that actually cleanses, like whatever doubts we may have, it will help us. This mananam helps us build our shraddha, our faith more and more, so that we can so this mananam itself, just meditating on these topics itself is bhakti. But as a result of this also, now you will start, chanting more and more, wanting, at least desiring. Even if I'm not doing it, at least I'll start seeing that as my goal. I will start desiring. And next, I will even start praying to the Lord, my Lord, I want to do this. So that's the thing. So, Sarvatra Sthapaya Prabhu Vaishnava Siddhante Prabhura Siddhanta Keho Na Pare Khandite. What is Mahaprabhu establishing? Vaishnava Siddhanta. And whatever Mahaprabhu has established, nobody could defeat, nobody could refute. Whatever he said, nobody could refute that. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established the devotional cult everywhere. No one could defeat him. All these, we said they're prachanda, very powerful in their particular philosophies. But nobody, none of these philosophers could actually defeat Mahaprabhu's uh, statements, whatever he has established, that bhakti is the highest, right? He established that bhakti is the only dharma of the living entity. You don't need to do anything else. Hmm? So that nobody could, all these other philosophers, however learned they were in their particular philosophies, they could not defeat that. Next. Hari 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 Prabhu Mate Korena Pravesha ए मते वैष्णव प्रभु कोयला दक्षिण देशा हारी हारी मतलब हार हार कर बीइंग डिफीटेड प्रभु मते मतलब महाप्रभुज मत दैट मीन्स हिज फिलॉसफी कोरेन प्रवेश एवरीबडी टर्न टू हिज फिलॉसफी दे ऑल बिकेम डिवोटीज being defeated. That is why this is the this is the principle. When you enter into a debate with an opponent, if the opponent defeats you, that means defeats your point, your philosophy, now you have to accept his philosophy because you're defeated. We see that when Keshav Kashmiri came to debate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was defeated, what did he do? He surrendered, he fell on his feet. That's how it should be. So, all these people who came, and when they were debating with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were defeated. And getting defeated, they were all surrendering. Surrendering means they were all becoming devotees. Hari Hari Prabhu Mate Korena Pravesha. They entered into the philosophy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ei Mate Vaishnava Prabhu Koila Dakshina Desha. In this way, Mahaprabhu turned the entire South India into Vaishnava. All the people of South India, of where, because remember, after Ramananda Rai's conversation when Mahaprabhu left and he entered further into South, there it is said that in South India, Vidyanagar, I think, there it is said that they had all these various philosophies, right? Someone is a Mayavadi, someone is a, even Buddhists, right? And Karmis, like this, various different philosophies. But Mahaprabhu turned everyone, all these people into Vaishnavas. Being thus defeated by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all these philosophers and their followers entered into his cult. In this way, Lord Chaitanya made South India into a country of Vaishnavas. He turned the whole South India into a country of Vaishnavas. Pashandi Aila Jata Panditya Shuniya Garva Kori Aila Sange Shishya Gana Loya. Pashandi means uh, atheists. Pashandi. Atheists. Who are atheists? Do you know who are atheists? Who is an atheist?
Not accepting Krishna consciousness, the belief in God, they believe
No,
that God
Mataji.
doesn't exist.
No, that is Nirishwarvadi. One who does not believe in God is called a Nirishwarvadi. Atheist means one who does not believe in Vedas, who does not accept Vedas
Okay.
is an atheist. Yeah.
Hmm.
So Pashandi, that means those who don't believe in the Vedas, who don't accept Vedas. Aila Jata Panditya Shunya. So all these people, atheists who came and they heard the uh, presentation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Garva Kori Aila Sange Shishya Ganaloya. Uh, so so they came to here, wait, when the non-believers heard of the erudition of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yes, so they heard about the Panditya. Panditya means he's very learned, right? Scholarly. So these atheists, when they heard that Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here, he's a very learned personality. Panditya Shunya, Garva Kori Aira, they came with great pride uh, along with all their disciples. That means they came to debate. Acha, there is one nice opponent for us to debate with. Okay, he's a very learned person. Let us go and check out. Huh? So, Garva Kori, in great pride, they came with all their disciples. Why? With all their disciples, they'll be glorified, isn't it, in front of their disciples. So, when they defeat, now all the disciples will go, yay, right? Our Guru has won. So, Pashandi Aila Jata Panditya Shunya, when they heard about Mahaprabhu's erudition, they came there with great pride along with their disciples. Garva Kori Aila Sange Shishya Ganaloya. When the non-believers heard of the erudition of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they came to him with great pride, bringing their disciples with them. बौद्धाचार्य महापंडित निज नव मते प्रभुर आगे उद्ग्राह कोरी लागिला बोलिते. Bauddha Acharya. So Buddhist Acharya means teacher. So he is the leader of the Buddhist philosophy. Bauddhacharya Mahapandita. He was a very great scholar in his particular philosophy. Bauddhacharya Mahapandita Nija Navamate. Nija Nava Mate. So Nava means nine. So nine philosophical conclusions. But you see, Buddhism is not from the Vedas, isn't it? Buddhism means it's voidism. So Lord Buddha rejected the Vedas and he gave his philosophy. So Buddhism is not from Vedas, it is actually uh, atheism. Buddhism is actually atheism. So Bauddhacharya, the leader of Buddhism, and a Mahapandita, very learned in what? Nija, that means his own philosophy, right? Nija Navamata. He came up with nine philosophical conclusions. He himself came up with nine philosophical conclusions, and he follows that. That Bauddhacharya, he came in front of Mahaprabhu. Prabhura aage udgraha kori. Udgraha means uh, he started like in a debating mood. Huh? Lagila bolite. He started speaking in a, in a challenging way. He started speaking, presenting his nine philosophical conclusions, which he came up with, his personal nine philosophical conclusions. Bauddhacharya Mahapandita Nija Nava Mate Prabhura Age Udgraha Kori Lagila Bolite. One of them means we said, the previous verse said that uh, people of different philosophies were coming to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, isn't it? So one of those was this leader of the Buddhist philosophy, and he came, started arguing with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's a very learned person in his own philosophy. So he was debating about the nine philosophical conclusions which he himself came up with. One of them was a leader of the Buddhist cult and was a very learned scholar. To establish the nine philosophical conclusions of Buddhism, he came before the Lord and began to speak. यद्यपि असंभाष्य बौद्ध अयुक्त देखिते तथापि बोलिला प्रभु गर्व खंडाइते. यद्यपि असंभाष्य बौद्ध ayukta dekhite. So even though Mahaprabhu saw that asambhashya, sambhashana means a conversation or a discussion. Asambhashya, that means his the topic that he was discussing on, or that whole discussion, was not fit to be discussed. Anything which is not to, which has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness is simply useless waste of time. There's no need to waste time talking and contemplating on those topics. There's no use, isn't it? Even though when one in Ishopanishad we hear that Vidya and Avidya both are required. Avidya, why knowing Avidya is required? To differentiate between Vidya and Avidya, right? So even when we are studying what is not Krishna consciousness, the purpose of that study is to discriminate between that which is not Krishna consciousness so that you can reject it. That's the whole purpose. You understand? So, with that intention, we also understand what is bhakti and what is not bhakti. So, when we are studying what is not bhakti, the intention is to do bhakti. Not that you just get carried away by those topics which are not Krishna consciousness, which is not bhakti, and you just start, getting absorbed. No, that's not required. It's waste of time. So even when we study them, we study very cautiously with the intention to understand what is not bhakti and what should be rejected, like that. But otherwise, a devotee has no interest whatsoever in any topics which are not Krishna conscious. So Mahaprabhu saw that this Bauddha Acharya who came and he was debating with him, he saw that this discussion is not worth, right? Yadyapi asambhashya. Asambhashya means it's not fit for discussion. Even though, see, look at Mahaprabhu's mercy. Even though he saw that this discussion is not worth it, it's not fit to be discussed, Bauddha Ayukta, right? Ayukta means he's also not fit, right? He doesn't have any qualification. He's not fit. And Mahaprabhu saw this. So he could have simply just ignored him and continued. Like we see uh, in Srila Rupa Goswami's pastimes, we see, people would come to debate with him, seeing him as a very learned scholar. The Goswamis were great scholars, Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, all of them. But they would come to debate. So different personalities would come to debate, because if you defeat the great Rupa Goswami, then I will be known as the greatest, like that. So they will come. So, like Digvijay Pandit type, they will go to different places and get it signed that you are defeated. So they will sit in a debate and they will defeat you and take a signature. And now they'll show in the whole world, see, I have defeated this great person. So now this person will be honored. So when people would come to Rupa Goswami, he wouldn't waste his time debating with them and then defeating them. He said, okay, I accept defeat. He would say, I accept defeat. Uh, why? Because he had other important things to do. He had the real thing to do. He was writing these books, Vaishnava scriptures for us, like Bhaktirasamrita Sindhu, Vidagdha Madhava, Lalita Madhava. So many books Acharyas were writing for us, which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered them to do. So no wasting time in these topics, debates. People would come. So, and humble. So not that I don't care for you, you are useless. No. Best is I accept defeat. I don't know anything. I accept defeat. Or if you accept defeat, then you have to sign. Okay, I will sign. Sign. Of course, the disciple of Rupa Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami, and that person is saying, I defeated your guru. What? You defeated my guru? So then Srila Jiva Goswami said, all right, you sit with me for a debate. I will show you what my guru is. And he completely defeated that person. But Srila Rupa Goswami, when he found out about this, he was not happy with Srila Jiva Goswami. He said, he was not happy means, of course, this is also, a leela, a pastime. But he said, why did you have to show off to that person, a materialist person? He's interested in this material, aggrandizement, just showing off that, he's a very learned person. Why should we waste time with such people? You could have used that time in devotional service. Oh, you also want to be known as a better learned person. That's why you debated like that. But what was Srila Jiva Goswami's purpose? My guru, that person is thinking he has defeated Rupa Goswami. If the disciple has defeated you, then what to speak about the guru? He is the guru of this disciple. What is his caliber? So he wanted to uphold the position of a Vaishnava. Vaishnava is very humble, but he doesn't waste his time. So Mahaprabhu could have very easily avoided this person. He is not fit. This Bauddha Acharya who came to debate with him, Mahaprabhu could have very easily just ignored him, avoided that debate, and said, maybe even like Rupa Goswami, yeah, you're right, he could have gone. But Mahaprabhu, that's why it is said, Yadyapi, even though this person was unfit and his discussion was also not fit to be discussed, यद्यपि असंभाष्य बौद्ध अयुक्त देखिते तथापि still बोलिला प्रभु गर्व खंडायते. Still Mahaprabhu spoke with him to crush his pride, to crush the pride of this. That is why mercy comes in so many different ways. We should not become very like we brace ourselves, right? We always put a wall around ourselves, not allowing that mercy to come in. Sometimes mercy comes in the form of chastisement, sometimes in the form of a curse also. Narad Muni cursed Nalakuvara and Manigriva. You don't need any qualification to get mercy. You get mercy by the desire of the giver. You don't have to be the best person or you don't have to be the worst person. You don't have to be anything to receive mercy. All you need is to be receptive to that mercy. When a Vaishnava is giving you mercy, just be receptive to taking it. If you put blocks, you know, with your pride, like when you get chastised and you're not receptive to that because my ego is getting hurt, then I'll be the loser because I'm not taking that mercy. I'm not receiving that mercy. But sometimes Vaishnavas are so powerful, whether I'm receptive or not, they just give that mercy. That is again their mercy. That's their mercy, right? Just removing that ignorance, avidya and ahankara, right? These are the coverings on the spirit soul. So, by their mercy, sometimes they embrace, sometimes they smile, they glance, they give Mahaprasad, they put a garland, sometimes they chastise, they correct, and curse, anything coming from a Vaishnava is great mercy. So now what is Mahaprabhu doing out of mercy? He's going to crush the pride of this Bauddha Acharya. And he was not fit in any way. Still, this is the mercy of Mahaprabhu. Tathapi bolila Prabhu garva khandaite. In order to crush his pride, Mahaprabhu began to speak. Although the Buddhists are unfit for discussion and should not be seen by Vaishnavas. See? They should not be seen by Vaishnavas because they're offenders, right? Uh, they say Shunyavad. Shunyavad means there's nothing, nothingness, right? Uh, so, although the Buddhists are unfit for discussion and should not be seen by Vaishnavas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to them. Why? Just to decrease their false pride. This is Mahaprabhu's mercy. So, what happened after that, we will see tomorrow. And Vani Seva Mataji, you raised your hand earlier. We have like 5 minutes we can discuss.
Thank you, Mataji. Nice to see you again. The thing is, we missed you. The thing is, you were talking about. I was writing it down. Now it is becoming a problem. You were in the beginning. You were talking about aspiring devotees, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
they just do the work, and I didn't get the point. Can you explain that to me again, please?
Acha, I was telling you that the duties in this world. Mm. So actually, what should be done, what should not be done, that we should take from Shastra. So Shastra gives duties for humanity. What are the duties? According to our nature, um, a person can be identified either as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and also ashramas are there: brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. And then women are categorized as a separate category, and for each of these, duties are assigned. Now these duties are not the constitutional position of the living entity. I am not a Brahmana eternally. I am not a woman eternally. I am not a Shudra eternally. But while I am in this body, I must abide by those duties because these are given by Shastra. This is my duty, right? So, whether I am Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, who will decide? Observing my nature, Guru should decide and say, oh, this person is a Brahmana, this person is a Shudra. So based on that, then I should do the duties of Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And then depending on my ashram, whether Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas, whatever Shastra is telling me, and women, whatever Shastra is telling are our duties, we should stick to these duties. But we should understand that these duties are for the body, they are not for the soul. The soul's duty, soul's only dharma is to do direct devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Because what is the identity of the soul? The soul is constitutionally meant to serve the Supreme Lord, the Swarupa of the soul. Jivera Swarupa Hoy, Krishnera Nitya Das, eternally to render direct devotional service. What is direct devotional service? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam. So now coming to devotees. So in devotees also there are two categories. One is one is a pure devotee who already got full faith that being a living entity, my duty is to only render direct devotional service to the Supreme Lord. So 24 hours he is endeavoring to do that all the time. He is a pure devotee now. And the other category is he's aspiring, like all of us. We are aspiring to become pure devotees, to come to that stage where we will be 24 hours doing direct devotional service. So these two categories are there. Both are called Vaishnavas. Those who are aspiring are also called Vaishnavas. Those who are pure devotees are also called Vaishnavas. But you cannot say both are same. One is aspiring and one is already there. So two types are there. So now, what about these duties that we do in this world? Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Grihastha, Vanaprastha. Should the Vaishnavas do these duties or not? So once you get full faith, and if you come to the stage of endeavoring to do direct devotional service 24 hours, there's no need for you to do any other duties. In fact, you shouldn't even feel that, oh, I'm a Brahmana, I should do my, Sandhya Vandanam, or I'm a, Vaishya, so I must, my business is my, you know, so you shouldn't feel like that. If once you come to pure devotional service, you should not feel, because that again becomes an offense there. A pure devotee shouldn't feel that I have to do this duty, I have to do that duty. No, he will not feel like that. But our area of importance, I mean, our area of concern is the aspiring devotee, because we are all aspiring to be pure devotees. So our condition is, we don't have that full faith yet that I should do 24 hours. I'm endeavoring at every moment, I'm endeavoring to do direct devotional service. That's not happening yet. So then what should we do? As much according, so we will do that much bhakti uh, as much as faith that we have. That means our bhakti will be in proportion to our faith in Krishna consciousness. If I don't have faith, I will not be able to do more. I can do for 2 hours, 16 rounds with difficulty. After that, I cannot do. I have to do something else. Because I have faith only to do 16 rounds now. Beyond that, I'm not able to do. Then what should you do the rest of the time? The rest of the time, you should do your duty. As Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, all these duties, whatever you're doing, as per Shastra, you should do. Why? Because when you do like that, you'll be in the mode of goodness. And while doing that work, you should also cultivate your faith, so that you will increase your faith. So, how will you cultivate faith? Like this: hearing from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, this hearing in the association of devotees, this will build my faith. So, as my faith increases, my time of direct devotional service that I'm doing will also increase. Instead of 2 hours, I will do 3 hours, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. It'll keep increasing as my faith increases. But the remaining time, other than when I'm doing direct devotional service, that time I should still follow duties. Now, while I'm doing direct devotional service also, just so that I will not disturb others in society, externally I may still be doing duties in this world. So I gave the example of a housewife, for example, because she has to cook and clean and take care of children and all that. Even though she is aspiring to be a pure devotee and she is trying to do direct devotional service all the time, to maintain peace outside, externally, simply to set example, she will do her duties that are prescribed in Shastra for a woman. She will do those duties. But in her heart, she will not feel the dependence on those duties. That if I didn't do these duties, Krishna will not be happy with me. If I didn't do these duties, I'm going to get some sinful reaction. No, she will not feel like that. The only reason she does those duties properly is so that the people around me, they may not become disturbed, and because of being disturbed, they may not get a bad impression about Krishna consciousness. Oh, a person who becomes Krishna conscious will not do anything here in this world. That is one thing. And the other thing is, taking my example, that I just drop all my duties in this world. People who are unqualified for bhakti, they're not doing bhakti. They'll drop all their work and they'll sit and watch movies. And they will say, Mataji is not doing her duties at home, I will also not do. But they will not see that Mataji is not doing duties because she is chanting all day long. That they will not take. They'll only take the negative side. Mataji is not doing her duties, I will also not do. Like this, if 20 different ladies gave up their work at home, what will happen? You get the point, Vani Seva Mataji.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, we should also externally, we should nahi, it's not required, but a responsible devotee will do this. Because a devotee doesn't want to create disturbance in society. But also remember what type of duties, not man-made duties. They will follow the duties that are given by Shastra. Because devotees are natural leaders. Yad yad acharati shreshtas tat tad evetaro jana. People look up to you, and they will follow in your footsteps. So therefore, until one gets full faith, he has to do the duties. Huh? I'm talking about those who are watching devotees also. So you know that they are not qualified for doing devotional service all day long. Then what should they do? They should do dharma in this world. So who will teach them how to do dharma? We have to do, and we have to show. And if I myself am not a pure devotee yet, that means I also have to do dharma.
Mm-hmm.
The extent to which I'm not doing bhakti, to that extent I have to do dharma. And even when I become a pure devotee, then also I don't have to do dharma, but I will do it to show others. It's as simple as a teacher writing a, as if she's learning like this, a, and then this line, B. It appears like she's learning, but actually she's not learning, but she's writing along with the children to set an example to them. This is how you should do. So, like that, a devotee, even though internally they may be, internally and externally also chanting loudly, right? Constantly they're doing devotional service, but to show those people who are not yet qualified to do that, they will also do dharma in this world. That is why we see Pandavas are doing their dharma, right, as kings. All the kings in Bhagavatam that we see, they are doing, devotee, does a devotee need to do kshatriya dharma, brahman dharma, and all that? No need. But still they do. Why? To set example to people. But what is his consciousness? This devotee is Ambarish Maharaj's consciousness, Arjun's consciousness, Yudhishthir Maharaj's consciousness. 24 by 7, Krishna, 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 right? But externally, to show the world, they will do their duty as a kshatriya. But do they feel dependence on that for themselves? No. The devotee's dependence is only on Krishna. You got the point, Mataji?
Yes, I have one more quick question. Suppose if you're really sick, you are not able to chant. Should I feel guilty? I said, Krishna, I cannot chant, and always I feel sad that I cannot get up and chant. If you have chant the mantras, and even though I'm thinking inside, but
Yes.
I
So
cannot
that
literally
thinking,
get up.
and that repenting keeps you on the platform of bhakti, even though you're not able to directly chant. But if you take this as an excuse that when I'm sick, it's okay if I don't chant, and I'm like fine, I'm not even thinking about bad about it, and I'm like, okay, I have a reason, I'm sick, so I don't need to chant, so I'm okay. That's not proper. But I'm feeling bad. Oh Krishna, I'm not able to chant. I'm supposed to chant. I'm feeling so sick. I'm not. That prayer to Krishna and that repentance keeps you on the platform of bhakti.
Okay. Mhm.
Either you're chanting, and if you're not chanting, you're repenting. So both ways you are on the platform of Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
I will ask you one more when you give another class. I don't want to hold
Yes,
up your
Mataji,
time.
because I have to go
Thank
for
you.
Mangalarti now. I'm already
Yes,
running late, eight
thank you,
minutes.
Mataji. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Good to
Amal
listen
Sundari
to you
Mataji,
again.
you wanted to say something? Yes, Hare Krishna.
No, Mataji, I also was wanting to say the same thing. Sometimes, like, till we come to that platform, like we have listened in Bhakti Prakara also, till we come to that platform of where we can be free from all upadhis, and we can, come to the point where it does not, we don't feel like we are obligated to do all the dharmas or the prescribed duties. Till then, if we have to do our prescribed like duties just to, so that like you said, to keep the peace. So there is no, and we are not putting um, a a show, like we are not showing something that is not correct and for the people to follow and kind of make
Correct.
it a statement that, so that, but at the same point, like now that you have already explained that, and I'm repeating your words only, what you had said earlier, that when we are not able to come to that point, or we have so many responsibilities and we cannot step out of it, the best way to do is meditate, like to be always connected to Krishna, even though we are not directly performing devotional service at that point. Like if you are cooking or you're driving or but you're always like connected, like you're always thinking, like in another way you find yourself to engage. Like if you cannot avoid going somewhere, but you can start a lecture, like listening while you're
Yes.
doing something. So you can find ways to keep your consciousness still connected, even though you may be doing certain things which are like required, mandated, or kind of need of the hour, you can say.
Yes. Very
So
nice. Very
yes,
nice.
so that I was just trying to add that point which you had earlier mentioned in one of the classes and also in the other classes.
Very good. You actually filled that gap in between, because there is that stage where, uh, you're not yet in the stage where you're actually doing it to set example to others. You actually feel that I have these duties, I have to do them. That is there. But at the same time, I want to come out of this and I want to be in Krishna consciousness all the time. So I am reaching out. So what we can do in that time is try to be Krishna, and that is also, if we are able to do that, yeah. So this is like one step before that, right? The next step is where you don't feel the need to do all these things, but still you're doing it to set example, but you're constantly, this is where I belong, and even if I didn't do this, it doesn't matter, right? That's one thing. That's the next stage. But before that, even if I'm still feeling that I have to do all these things, and I'm reaching out to Krishna, right? I'm trying to Krishnaize my work. So
Right.
this is karma yoga actually. Yes, very nice. So you do the work, and while doing that work, not exactly karma yoga. Karma yoga means you do karma and you offer it to
Oh,
Krishna. This
no,
is
no.
not this is not exactly that also. We feel like I have to do this duty, because I'm in this situation, right? So still there is that identity, right? Identifying the self in that situation, it's there. But at the same time, there is this desire to come out of that, in the sense, transcend. Come out of that means transcend that while you're there, but be like a lotus leaf, right? You're there, but you don't want to be touched by that. So you're doing all those things, but you're holding on to Krishna by hearing, by chanting Krishna's names. So yes, that's really, you know, individually we can see where we are, but the idea is, the goal is the same for everyone wants to come to the point of always remembering Krishna, and if you're able to do that, then even if we are trying to do that, we will find ourselves, by Krishna's mercy, will be lifted from that position also, where uh, you won't even feel like I have to do all these things. But that doesn't mean you won't do. You will do it, but you won't feel like I have to do this or anything. So,
Yes.
yes, Mataji, very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice always.
Hare Krishna.
Always learning something more from you. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Sri
Krishna.
Chaitanya Charitamrita
Amriti.
ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai
jai.
Jai. Hare
Samaveta
Jai.
Krishna.
Gaur
Thank you,
Bhaktavrinda
Mataji.
ki jai.
Jai.